Okay, I think we are recording. So today is Monday, July 23rd. I hope that all of your weeks are off to an amazing start. I don't know about you guys, but I just love Mondays. Not only because it's our team call, but I just always feel like so refreshed and just ready to kick butt the rest of the week. So hopefully your Mondays are just as good. But the announcements that I wanted to cover really quickly, by the way, I have a guest with me. He was like, Danielle's speaking. I have to sit in there and listen. So here he is. But the few announcements that I wanted to go over really quick is hopefully you are aware of the fact that Lift for a Must Mass VIP Early Access is available. We've been talking about this for weeks and honestly months now. You can still get $10 off your early bundles and access to the coach test groups through the end of the month. So be sure that you are utilizing that to your advantage as far as leveraging those launches to grow your business is concerned. That's FAQ 7500 for Lift 4 and 5222 for Mas for more information. And then of course the Beat Your Best promotion. This is the final full week of that promotion. Hopefully you've been kind of working towards doing just that, beating your best this month as far as Success Club points is concerned, and also as far as getting your personally sponsored coaches into Success Club is concerned. So both of those, not only do you of course like get rewarded with medals and stuff, but it's just a really great opportunity for you to just move your business forward, honestly. So now for the fun part. Our guest speaker tonight, Danielle Natoni. So just kind of like a little bit of backstory. Not only is she a wife, a mom, a Superstar Diamond 2 coach, and I'm pretty sure this morning I heard that she hit 4-star in like her 3rd, 4th, 8th, 9th business center, 3rd business center. So many accolades. She's a 6-time elite coach, and she was also the 2016 CEO Award recipient, Millionaire Club member. She's pretty much just a badass. But I actually met Danielle back in 2016 when she competed in the Mrs. Texas pageant. I had actually won Mrs. Oklahoma that year, and so I was just like praying daily that she was going to be my roommate at Mrs. America. But nonetheless, it sparked a really awesome friendship, and I'm so blessed to know her in that capacity. She's become one of my very good friends. So I am like sweating, I'm fangirling, I'm shaking. I'm so pumped that she agreed to do this team call for us tonight. And she asked what I wanted her to speak on. And honestly, I was just like, anything and everything that you feel like pouring into our team, because I know anything that she says is going to inspire, motivate all of you and help you move your business forward. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to pass the mic over to Danielle. You can take it away.
Well, thank you for that intro. And in case you're wondering like why I'm like double winking, our team calls are also Monday nights at 8. So I was like, how can I do this? So I am currently, you see, broadcasting live on inside my Facebook group. So I was like, I'm doing a call for my friend. I was like, so we're going to just move our call into the Facebook group and they can watch while I do it. So little double wink action going on. Also, for all the people on Beth's team who are watching right now, I just want you to understand that when you don't have your video turned on, I assume you're naked. So just putting that out there, that's kind of our rule on our team call. Like, I don't care what's going on in the background in your house, the crazier the better, but like just that's the whole point of a video call, right? Like, why turn off your video on a video call? So good. There's not as many people naked now. Love it. Perfect. So yes, my name is Danielle Natoni, and I am so excited to be speaking to you guys tonight and to kind of double broadcast into my team. And for my team that's watching, they may have heard this before, but what I'm going to say is going to be real. It's going to be raw, and I hope I have your permission to be blunt and to drop some real truth bombs and a little bit of tough love. So here we go. Also, I'll let you know that I'm super long-winded, so this call may potentially go longer than you originally anticipated, which is fine. Just consider it free extra personal development. So Beth so graciously introduced me with all of my accolades. And yes, I was fortunate enough to meet her when I did something super scary for me, which was go out for the Mrs. Texas pageant. And, you know, everything happens for a reason. And so I am really grateful that I did not win that pageant. But I also am grateful for, as they always say, it's all about the friendships. And I am really grateful for the friendships that I made through that pageant. I got to meet Beth and Rebecca and just, my hairdresser, which is life. So many great things came out of that pageant. Plus, I did something that was really scary to me. So quick kind of aside, if you've not done anything that makes you want to vomit yet, I highly recommend you find something. Maybe that's something as simple as just inviting. Maybe that's something as simple as sharing your transformation story on social media. Or maybe that's something like going out for the Beachbody Classic. I don't know. But I'm telling you, when you find something that makes you want to vomit, you should do it because it will make you a better person in the end. So I am glad that she started with all my accolades, not because I need her to toot my own horn, but because there's going to be a point. I'm going to actually review those and say them again because there's going to be a point to this that you can achieve all those things that I've achieved, if not more, because I really am no more special or talented than you. And I'm going to share that with you as I kind of take you back through my journey a little bit. So yes, I am a Superstar Diamond 2 coach. I'm one of only 7 people to have ever achieved that in the entire company, which means I've achieved Superstar Diamond 2 in 2 business centers. My 3rd business center did turn 4-star diamond last Thursday. My 4th business center is a 2-star diamond, and my 5th business center is a diamond. I am a 6-time elite coach. However, my team has already secured 7 times elite for this year. My team is currently ranked number 8 in the network, and in 2012, we ended the year as the number 5 team. I am not only a Million Club member, but I have 3 years consecutively earned 7 figures in this business. I am a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend. I'm 90 consecutive months SC10 or higher. In 2016, I was awarded the CEO Award, which is the award that Carl Deichler picks for the person that basically bleeds the most blue. I am a master trainer for Beachbody Live for Country Heat Size and Insanity, as well as the Insanity Live Format Expert, which means I create and develop every Insanity Live workout taught in gyms worldwide. I have been a cast member in Asylum Volume 2 and the modifier in Insanity Max 30. And I am, of course, a wife and a mother. And all of that sounds really, really fancy. And a lot of times people are like, whoa, #goals. And here's the thing, you guys. When I came into this, I was no different than you. And I'm still no different because if you follow me, you know that this outfit right here is the same freaking outfit that I wore at 7:30 a.m. this morning to do my Lift 4 workout and to walk my neighborhood. So I need you to understand that all those things that you heard don't make me special. I'm not different than you. Nobody cares about me at the grocery store. When Beth's oh, fangirling, or people run into me at Summit, they're like, oh my God, can I get a picture with you? I'm like, please. Nobody cares about me at Target. Not a single person knows who I am. I'm only relevant where I'm relevant. And so why that's important is because I am just a girl, just like you, sitting here right now sweating because apparently my husband turned the air off. I don't know what's going on in this room. Maybe it's just the heavy lighting to make sure I don't look 40. But either way, I need you to understand that everything that I have accomplished, you can accomplish and more. Because when I started this 8 years ago, April 15th, 2010, I was just a girl knee deep in debt. I knew nothing about Beachbody whatsoever, which is probably slightly different than you. My guess is that when you came into this, you already had a love for one of our products and programs, that maybe you had done Insanity, or maybe you tried 21 Day Fix, or you had at least heard of Beachbody. When I came into this, I was already fit. If that makes you hate me, sorry, but it looks like you guys are all a super cute fit team. But I have always been basically this size. And when I came to Beachbody, I wasn't looking for a weight loss solution. I was looking for a financial solution. I was in a different marriage, a very unhealthy marriage. Could not make it paycheck to paycheck. And when I see I couldn't make it paycheck to paycheck, I don't mean just the way people say that. I mean, legitimately, I had to borrow from the other teachers at my school, from my parents. I took out 9 payday loans, which have 70% interest rates in order to try to, what is the saying, beg from Peter to take from Paul or whatever. And so I was at a place where my credit score was below a 300. And I was like, I guess this is it. I guess this is my life. I have a seemingly good job, but I can't make it to the next paycheck. I can't buy the kids anything extra. The creditors were calling my school, my parents, my work. My stomach was in a constant state of ruins. And I was like, I've got to go back to bartending. I had always tended bar or waiting tables as a side hustle. And I thought, I guess I'm going to have to go back to that. But I paused for a moment because I liked fitness. I always liked fitness. I had my first daughter at 22, and right after I had her, I started doing Denise Austin in my living room. And you guys look like a super young team, and you probably don't know who she is, but I need you to look her up on Instagram. She's still chilling. She's aging goals for sure. She's like in her 60s and cute as a button. And she used to do these free beach workouts after the Golden Girls and Designing Women on Lifetime. And I used to do those workouts like right after I had my baby. And cause I was like, I'm not going to be one of those moms who has a 9-year-old who's like, I just had a baby. That's why I'm overweight. So I was fit. And when I came to this idea of like, I have to get a second job, I thought, you know what? Wonder if there's a way to make money in fitness. I had no idea. I just thought I would go to the gym every day after work. I somehow always afforded my membership at 24 Hour Fitness. And I thought I would look up in that room and I would watch the little fitness girls in there. And I'm like, they're so cute and they're so fun. And I bet you they make money. And thankfully, I didn't know that I was wrong, because that is what led me to Beachbody. Everything's put into your life on purpose, right? Hopefully you believe that every person and every incident comes into your life for a reason. And so I went to the gym manager and I said, if I were to become a group fitness instructor, would you hire me? And he said, yes. I said, cool. How do I do that? And he said, well, have you ever heard of turbo kick? And I said, no. And he's like, do you like kickboxing? Nope. He said, all right, well, would you consider getting certified in this turbo kick thing? It's a really popular class here at our gym. And I guarantee you could be a sub on the class list. And I said, okay. So I took my tax return. That was back when I liked tax season. Once you become super successful in coaching, tax season is no longer fun. There is no such thing as a refund. And so you look forward to those days. But I took my tax refund and I said, okay, I'm going to do this turbo kick thing. And I'm so glad that I showed up that day, because that is when I call her my angel. That was when my blonde, you guys have a blonde, that was when my blonde showed up into my life. And her name is Jackie Woodfin. Back then it was Jackie Bull. And she had this huge blonde hair. You should look her up. You'll be obsessed on social media. Huge blonde hair, sweet Southern voice. She's from East Texas. I'm going to do an accent for y'all because it makes the call a little bit more colorful. And so she was just like everything I thought I wanted to be. She was poised and beautiful and striking. And I just thought, man, I would love to be just like her. And of course, I didn't know that she had her own kind of life issues going on. And so at lunch, I sat down with her and she asked me, she was like, have you ever heard of Beachbody? And I said, no. And my guess is that most times when you ask people right now, have you ever heard of Beachbody? Their answer is probably yes. You'd be pretty far removed these days to have never heard of the company, but I hadn't. And she said, well, have you ever heard of Insanity? And I said, no, which is so weird considering the man that created the program is one of my closest friends and kind of introduced me to my now husband. So weird. And then she said, have you ever heard of P90X? And that thing I had kind of heard of. And so we go on and she starts telling me about coaching. And she says to me the thing that really forever changed my life. She says, I make more doing Beachbody than I do anything else. And I pay my family's mortgage with what I make. And I was like, oh my God, you pay your family's mortgage? Like I literally could not make it paycheck to paycheck. And so she had me hooked right then and there. And she didn't tell me about the comp plan. She didn't tell me what it meant to be Emerald. She didn't tell me anything about selling anything to my friends, but she looked me dead in the face and she said, I think you would crush it. And the reason that is so important is because I bet you sometimes you're so scared. You are so scared to tell somebody about the coaching opportunity. You're afraid that you don't know what to say, or what if they give you an objection, or what if they say a certain question, and y'all, none of that matters. I'm sure you've heard the expression before, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. And on the flip side of that, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And in that given moment, I was the right person for her. She was saying the things I needed to see. She was believing in me before I believed in myself. And so I need you to understand, as you talk to people and you question whether or not you should invite somebody into this business, first of all, you don't get to play God. everybody should get to hear about this business and let them decide for themselves whether or not it's right for them. Because what if she had looked at me and said, no, she's cute, she's fit, she's got it all together, I'm not going to tell her about it. My life might be completely different than it is today. You shouldn't get to decide who this is right or who this is wrong for. But also, you should realize that it doesn't matter. You don't have to know diddly squat about coaching to share this opportunity. All you have to know is that you love it and that the other person would probably love it too. And that matters more than any other piece of information that you could give them. So she told me I would crush it. And for whatever reason, I believed her. And so I went home that night and I told my now ex-husband, I said, I did it. I solved all our financial problems. I'm going to be a Beachbody coach. And he was like, what is that? I'm like, I got no fucking idea. Oh, sorry, there's a kid. Sorry. I have no freaking idea. I was like, I don't know. I said, but what I know is that I believe her. And have you ever felt that? Like you don't know why, but you just feel it deep in your soul. So I went into my computer room that night and I signed up to be a coach. And 30 minutes later, I canceled. And why that's important to you is because you guys, I joined and canceled in the exact same moment. And you probably have people who have questioned whether or not they should stay in. You might even have people who have quit and will potentially come back to you because sometimes our timing isn't their timing. And I got scared. I got really, really scared after I pressed submit. What I realized is I don't have the money to do this. And I didn't. I bounced 3 checks and I did not get my money back in time. And I always say that that was the best, worst financial decision I ever made, to put my bank account into the negative to kind of start this business, even though I wound up having to start again. Because you guys, the people who tell me they can't afford to be a coach are the people I say can't afford not to be. Because you've heard before, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if you're sitting in a life that you don't love and you're doing the same stuff day in and day out and not trying something different, it's never going to change. And so in that moment, I got real scared and I canceled. And then that whole next month, I realized I made a mistake in canceling. This was the thing. I felt it. I was hearing about it. I went from never hearing about Beachbody to hearing it all the time. And I knew in my gut that that was going to be the thing that forever changed the course of my life. So on April 15th, 2010, for the second and last time, I became a coach. So I need y'all to know, sometimes when people tell you no, it literally means not right now. And sometimes when people tell you they're not ready or they just want to be a discount coach, what they means is it's not on your timeline yet, but they'll get there. So you need to understand that people will come to it as long as Jackie looked at me and she said, I'll be here when you're ready. And so sometimes you need to realize that your belief in others matters more than anything else. And it was her belief in me and her belief that she was going to be there when I was ready that I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. And so when I joined, you're probably thinking, okay, you just came on and like, boom, you were successful. And you'd be wrong. I came in and I was not successful. I did not hit Success Club for the first 8 months of my business. Now, y'all just heard me say, I am 90 consecutive months, Success Club 10. But the first 8 months of my business, you guys, never hit it, not once. Want to know why? Because I was doing it all wrong. I was a stinky coach. I got to Emerald right away, and not because I signed up my spouse or my family. We'll tackle that on a whole separate call, but because I'm cute and fit and people like me. So I was able to convince 2 people to become coaches. But I wasn't drinking our shake. I'm like, I'm fit. Fit people eat food. I don't drink shakes. I'm not doing that. And I didn't do one of our workout programs because like I'm fit. Fit people go to the gym. I'm not working out from home. And I'm like, you know what? I've got 2 small kids, a husband who doesn't believe in this business. I'm trying to work a full-time job and build a side business. And y'all want me to read books, like self-help books? I'm not doing that. I'm perfectly fine. I don't need self-help. I mean, meanwhile, my life was emotionally crumbling. I was in financial ruins, but I didn't think I needed personal development when I couldn't have been further from the truth. And personal development is truly the thing that everybody needs more than anything else in this business. And so I was trying to sell instead of share. And so why that's important is because y'all think the 4 vital behaviors, maybe you think it's just like this cute thing that corporate puts out. But the reality is the 4 vital behaviors are vital for a reason. Because if you are not proof our products work, and if you are not working on your brain as much as you are working on your body, then you will never be successful in this business. You just won't. So for 8 months, I struggled because this is kind of how my sales tactic went. Oh, okay, Beth, so you want to get fit. Okay, cool. So you should drink this shake. It's really good. That's all I knew. I had no idea. I had no idea what it tasted like because I didn't drink it. I was like, it's got a lot of vitamins. So good. And then I was like, oh, and you should probably do P90X because Tony Horton is like a really good trainer. That was it. That was like my entire pitch because I didn't have a connection to the programs and I didn't have a connection to the shakes. And I didn't have the internal fortitude or the strength or the posture that personal development gives you to withstand objections like, oh, this is a pyramid scheme, or, oh, you're just trying to sell me something, right? Whereas now I'm like, you don't even know what a pyramid scheme is. Define that. Right? Because PS, most people who say the word pyramid scheme, first of all, are like living back in like 1984. They don't even know what that means. Because FYI, when I was a teacher, let me tell you how that kind of worked. Oh, there's a superintendent. Underneath the superintendent are the principals of the different schools. Underneath the principals of the different schools are all the teachers. Underneath all the teachers are all the paraprofessionals. Underneath all the paraprofessionals are the custodians and the cafeteria workers. I'm sorry, what shape is that? Right. So anyway, I finally realized, okay, here's the deal. I'm not making any money. I'm actually spending more than I'm making, which defeats the entire purpose for being a coach. So I either need to quit or I got to figure this out. And what I knew is I didn't want to quit. I was watching other people on social media crushing this business. And what I didn't understand was if they could do it, why couldn't I? So I went to a live event. Why is that important? Y'all better get to every single event there is. This is an event. Kudos to you for being on. But also you need to get to live events. If you haven't already booked your ticket for Summit, why not? Don't you plan on being in this business a year from now? Have you already looked to see where the next Super Saturday is? Have you bought your ticket? If there's not one near you, could you get to Emerald and make sure you host a Super Saturday on your own? Because let me tell you what, events are game changing. Events are what takes this business from this little thing on your computer screen, which seems really alone, and makes it something that's a community and people want to be a part of. And it's also where people have aha moments, because that's where I had mine. And somebody walked across the stage who started the same month of the business as me. And she said, and I'm a diamond coach and I pay for my family's mortgage with what I make from Beachbody. And I was like, BITCH. Dang it, I am an Emerald coach and I am spending more than I'm making. And I watched person after person walk across that stage and share their story, and they all looked different. Not everybody was fit. Some were men, some were women, some were fit, some were at the beginning of their journey. And I thought, if all these different people can be successful, why not me? Why can't I be successful? I don't get it. And then I realized, oh, now I get it, because every single person that came across that stage had some kind of transformation, not necessarily physical, but some kind of transformation. Some of them changed, yes, had a 50-pound weight loss. Some of them changed their finances. Some of them changed just internally, right? Had an emotional transformation. And I realized, okay, I need to be proof our products work. That's what I'm doing wrong. And so I was like, all right, let me do it. Let me pick one of these programs. And so I decided to do the hardest workout ever put on DVD, which was Insanity. And thank goodness I did. So I went from fit to fitter. And here's the deal. If you have not done a full program from start to finish, you're missing the boat. It is skill transfer, you guys. If you can complete a program from start to finish, you can also crush this business. Those skills that allow you to wake up every day and press play on your workout and not miss a beat are the same skills that will allow you to get your power hour in when you've got dishes piling up in your sink and you got to take your kids to soccer practice. And when you complete a program from start to finish, it shows the woman on the other side of social media or the guy on the other side of social media that it is a solution, an easy solution for them to follow. But when you dabble here and there and just pick and choose the program you want to do, oh, today I'm going to do T25 and today I'm going to do this. It's no different than walking around the gym aimlessly looking at all the machines going, what am I supposed to do now? That's why people hire trainers. So doing a program from start to finish will change your business, and that's what it did for me. So I picked up Insanity, went from fit to fitter, did the full 60 days, started drinking that stinking shake, and I don't think I've missed it ever since, which is why I very rarely get an objection from somebody when I'm talking to them, because there is no doubt in their mind that I drink that shake every stinking day and that I wouldn't live my life without it. And then I started reading personal development. So I picked up my first book, which was The Slight Edge, which is by Jeff Olson, very similar to The Compound Effect, which is the idea that it is the little, small, unsexy behaviors day in and day out that lead to big change. And you guys, personal development will change your life. If you do not fuel your brain as much as you fuel your body, you will never make it in this business. It takes thick skin. It takes guts. It takes courage. And all of that comes from you working on the insides out, from you getting out of your own stinking way, from you pushing aside all those limiting beliefs, for you knowing how to talk to people. And guess what? Personal development is not just all the stuff on the inside. It's also professional development, understanding what's going on in the fitness industry. What are the trends in nutrition? Realizing that you need to read business books, fitness books, nutrition books, not just books about how to be a badass. While those are really fun and Girl Wash Your Face is really cool, you also need to read books, because while you don't have to be a health and fitness coach, you should be well versed when somebody comes up to you and says, hey, this is something I'm dealing with. Do you know anything about it? So personal development will change your business. And I can always tell when a coach says they're doing personal development. It's like, oh yeah, I've been like reading the same book for like a month. Girl, you haven't been reading it. And guess what? If you can't read it, listen to it. Audible changed my life, because I don't know about you, but I'm in the car more than I am anything else. So being able to listen to books has been game changing for me too. So I started doing the vitals, and guess what happened? My business took off. So April 15th, 2010, I joined. I never hit Success Club until January of 2011. Those first 8 months. But I went to that event in November. So I figured out, okay, got to start doing my workouts, got to start being consistent. I'm going to wake up, drink my shake, do my workout, read or listen to personal development, and talk to people both in person and online. Because then I realized, oh wait, people are also doing like this social media thing. Maybe I should do that too. And it started with Danielle's fit tip of the day. And why that's important is because some people might look at me and go, oh, well, of course you're successful. You have 160,000 followers on Facebook and 130,000 followers on Instagram. Do you know how I built that? One post at a time, one follower at a time, just like you can. And that took time, and that built trust. And while I was building trust on social media with Danielle's fit tip of the day, I started in my community. I became the crazy Beachbody lady in my town. By the time I left that elementary school, every person in that building, from the janitor to the parents of my students, was either a customer or a coach of mine. Social media is great, but what happens now is coaches go and they go, okay, I'm just going to post and wait. How many of you have done that? You post and you're like, woo! And you're like, I made a post. I don't understand why I'm not a diamond coach yet. Nobody came to me. I made my coming out of the closet post. How come I don't have any Success Club points? Because you guys, it can't, and it won't be. I still can't make one post and then just lock in things, right? You've got to build up trust. Build up that trust on social media. And while you're doing that, you got to talk to real, live human beings. Your friends, your family, your neighbors, the person at the grocery store. Y'all, I don't know if you know this, but there are real live humans on the other side of your phone. Seriously. Like, I don't know if you know this, but like when you go to the checkout line at Target, there's somebody on the opposite side of that phone that wishes that you would put down your GD phone for just a second and make some eye contact and simply say, hey, how are you doing? How's your day? Because that girl who's standing out checking out your groceries at Target could be your next coach, but you're too busy with your eyes glued down on your phone to realize that. And that, guess what, is also skill transfer. When you can talk to real live human beings, guess what you're better at doing? You're better at communicating with people on social media because you understand their pain points. So in January of 2011, that was the first month I ever hit Success Club. January of 2012 was my first month as a full-time Beachbody coach. Why is that important? Because within that 1 year of consistent behavior of hitting Success Club every single month, being proof the products work, doing the vital behaviors, I was able to match my income and bring myself home. And don't get it twisted. At that time, I was still in debt and the only income earner in my family. Also, insert legal disclaimer here, every independent team Beachbody coach must work to their own level of independent awesomeness, etc. Right? So I need you to understand that if you work hard, and you want this bad enough. And I did, because I realized, I was like, okay, if other people can be successful, so can I. I'm no more special or talented than them, and they're no more special or talented than me. And guess what? Hard work never goes unrewarded. That's what I firmly believe. So back then, I woke up at 4 a.m. so that I could get in my workout before I went to school. And my hair was in a bun. It was longer then. And I wore my hair up in a bun every single day to school. And I didn't care, because you want to know why? I was going to get in that workout, do all my posts, get out my invites all before I went and started my day teaching elementary school at 7 a.m. Why? Because I wanted it bad enough. So sometimes I think when you guys, and I don't mean you, I just mean people in general, are like, oh, it's really hard, or I'm really busy. Guess what? So is everybody. It just depends on how bad you want it. And sometimes you have to be okay with understanding maybe you just don't want it that bad. Maybe you don't, and that's okay. You don't have to want to build a big as business as I do. But if you do, then that requires hard work and elbow grease. Literally, everything can be done by just pouring your blood, sweat, and tears into it. When people are like, I'm doing everything and I'm just not successful, wrong. You're not doing everything. You haven't. You haven't tried everything then, because you haven't found the thing that's going to work for you. So January 2012 was my first month as a full-time Beachbody coach. And guess what? January 2013, I had ended that year as a top 10 coach, the number 5 coach in the network. I was right. I was able to, by being home that entire year and doing this full time, I was able to really crush this business. And maybe you love your job and you don't want to do this full time, and that's okay too. But what I want you to understand is I didn't come into this with a large social media following. Instagram, I think, just started existing. Like, that's how old I am. Okay. Facebook, I didn't have a page and I barely had a personal profile. I was still really upset MySpace is gone. Most of you aren't even old enough to know what MySpace is. You made super cool glittery backgrounds and it was like really, really fun. Okay. I was not in videos back then. And here's the other piece of that. You know, being in videos doesn't mean squat. So like if one of your goals is to be in a video and you think that's going to help your business, it doesn't. I want you to think of every workout program you've ever done. Every single one of those people is a coach, you guys. How many of them are super successful coaches? Not that many. Oh, and if you're like, oh, well, you know, I'm not as fit as I'd like to be, or, you know, I've got to be, how many times have you heard a coach tell you, I just need to be at my goal weight and then I'll be ready? Let me tell you what, do you want to know that it is way harder for me I have to combat the fact that I've always been fit. I have to combat the fact that I don't have this amazing side-by-side transformation story, right? So if you're on your journey, good for you. That's amazing, because every pound that you drop, every inch that you lose, every piece of confidence that you gain, somebody is watching that and inspired by that and is going to go, wow, how do I do what you do? How do I get whatever crack you're smoking? Because I want to drink that Kool-Aid. I always say I have to work really hard to be likable and relatable, because nobody likes the tall, skinny girl with six-pack abs and the perfect looking husband. No one likes that girl, right, Beth? So, right, I'm sure Beth has to combat the exact same things. But here's the deal, you guys. When you look at all the top successful coaches in the business, there's not one identifying factor. We don't all look the same. We don't all come from the same background. We don't all, run our businesses the same. The only thing that's the same is we all work hard. None of this is just given to anybody. So if you want this business, you can do it. And it goes the same way every day. You wake up, you shake up, and you show up. Meaning you wake up, you drink that shake, you shake up your Energize, whatever it is that is your first piece of morning mojo, you press play on one of our workouts every single day. Or if that means the 2B mindset, whatever, you get my point. You're doing one of our things. Does that mean that you can't still run or can't do yoga? No, of course not. But it means that Beachbody is an ever running theme throughout what you do. It means that every single day you are talking to real live people, both in person and online, meaning yes, you're posting on social media, and yes, you're starting conversations, but also you're talking to real live humans. You should be the crazy Beachbody person in your community. And don't tell me also on social media, I saw somebody posted on my team page, well, I don't like just randomly messaging people. Guess what? I don't either, but I also didn't like being in debt. And I also didn't like being unhappy. So, Autumn says in one of her workouts, decide your hard. Being overweight is hard. Being sore is hard. Choose your hard, right? Well, you choose your hard. Which do you prefer better? Do you want to be a success story, or do you want to stay exactly where you're at? Which piece do you want? Yeah, sometimes you have to do things uncomfortable. You think I wanted to traipse across stage in a turquoise one piece and plastic heels in pursuit of being Mrs. Texas in Corsicana, Texas? No, of course not. But in that given moment, that's what I wanted. So I donned on those stupid heels, put extensions in my hair, and pranced my little rhinestone butt right across that stage. So if you want to be a diamond coach, an elite coach, whatever, then that means that, yeah, you are going to send messages to people and invite them to your next challenge group. And that means that you are going to work when you don't want to work. And that means that you're going to press play when maybe you don't feel like pressing play. Because the reality is this: I legitimately am not any more special or talented than you. I'm not the brightest. I'm not the best at marketing. The only thing that I am is a hard ass worker. I bleed blue. I get up every single day and I run my business the same way today that I did 8 years ago, which is, it is all about getting in that workout, being proof our products work, working on my brain as much as I work on my body, and talking to people. And that's it. And I repeat. And sure, I run groups and we do calls and all of those things, but none of that matters. None of that matters if you're just posting and waiting, or if you're not truly living, breathing Beachbody. And that doesn't mean you're word vomiting Beachbody on people. That doesn't mean that your social media feed looks like a Beachbody wallpaper, parade. It means that you're showing up 100% authentically as you every single day because you know that you have it within you to be successful. I decided one day, nope, I was going to draw a line in the sand and I was going to step over it and I was going to be successful. And you can do that too. Y'all, Emerald's a decision. So if you're sitting on this call, not an Emerald, you could decide literally to get off this call and go talk to 2 people right now and be Emerald by morning. Diamond is 12 people. You can do that. It's not that many people. We're not asking you to, you know what I mean? Like they're not these grand things. The decision all lies up in here. And how bad do you want it? And maybe you just want the discount and that's cool. Totally fine. Own that, right? But if you're like, no, I want to walk across that stage at Summit. I want to build a big team. I want to create a legacy that will live far beyond me, because you guys, what I have created now will not just live with me. It will live with my children and my children's children and beyond. And even if you're like, well, I don't, my family does well financially, here's the thing. The bigger your income, the bigger your impact. The bigger your income, you can do more charity work. You can go start your own kind of, philanthropy work. There is so much that you can do. So if you're not money driven, well, guess what? Then whatever it is that drives you, the more time and the more freedom that you have, because this business created that for you, the better the life that you can live. So what I hope that you realize is that when you look at people like me, don't put me on some weird pedestal. I'm just a girl who's sweating right now. I don't know why, who's sitting in her same sweaty sports bra as she was this morning, who came into this thing having no freaking clue. I didn't have a degree in Beachbody. My degree is in elementary education, fractions and coloring. I could tell you how to, I could teach you some long division and some 2-step multiplication like you wouldn't believe. That was my skill when I came into this. But what I knew is if I show up as me, 100% authentically me, and I try things every single day, some things work, some things don't, then guess what? This business will build, and it can build for you too. You know what? I have some super successful kick-ass women on my team, probably a lot of which you follow. There are 7 of us in the top 50 right now. And you want to know what? I have nothing to do with that. It's not because I run these amazing trainings for them or do anything special. The only thing is that they all do the same thing I do. They show up authentically as themselves every single day. They press play on their workout every single day, and they do the hard work required. They do the uncomfortable, unsexy, scary things day in and day out over time, because sometimes the minute that you want to quit, that moment that you want to quit would have been the exact moment that everything that you ever wanted in this business would have happened, but you stopped just a little bit too soon. So maybe right now you're like, no, girl, I'm good. Like, I'm working on my goals. Awesome. Set them higher. You're not living big enough, right? Like, set them higher. Every time you set a goal, think a little bit bigger. Think, nope, I can do more than that. And here's the other thing, and the final thing I'll say, and then I'll let you guys ask questions if you want. If you don't believe in you, how can you expect for other people to believe in you? You guys, the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. The reason I have to be such a boss babe or, like hashtag goals is so that my team can do all those things. How do you think, Ashley Molstead, Tanya Barron, Lori Stewart, Leticia Dominguez, Kim Lima, like Ashton Thorell, like we have, 6 like elite coaches, like Emily Falver, all these people on my team. How do you think it's the speed of the leader? All I'm doing is I'm running as fast as I can so that they can run as fast as they can, so their people can run as fast as they can. Y'all, Beth is running. She is running as fast as she can, so y'all need to catch up to her so that your people can run as fast as she can. But if you don't believe in you, then your people won't believe in themselves either. So it all starts from within, and you've got to put in the hard work, show up every single day. But if you want this, you can build it, because you are just as special, if not more, than I am. And I know that you can achieve everything that you want to achieve. So I'm done, Beth. So I don't know if that was helpful. If you're like, shut up, we're done, we'd like to go to bed. I'll stay on if people have questions. Up to you.
Totally helpful. Thank you so much. I don't see any questions in the chat, but I have a really quick question, just kind of based on some objections, honestly, from some of my personally sponsored coaches as far as like spousal support is concerned. And I know that like, not you, like,
I get it.
Yeah.
So their spouses don't support it, right?
Yeah. Can you kind of address that a little?
Yeah, a couple things. So number one, so there's a couple of ways to look at it. Number one, you want to prove a spouse wrong? Build this business, right? Some spouses just need to see it. Maybe you've tried things before. Maybe, they, for whatever reason, they have it in their head that, oh, this is a pyramid scheme, or it's this or it's that. So show them, right? Like literally prove them wrong. And here, I'm going to say something super unpopular. Ready for it? If your spouse completely doesn't support you, there's something wrong with your marriage. Sorry. And while I'm not advocating divorce, and how people run their marriages is one thing, but if I can't have a discussion with my husband and tell him something that I want to do, why I believe in it and why I'm passionate about it, and he still can't at least ignore it enough to let me go on my way and do my own thing until I prove him otherwise, then there's something wrong. There's a communication barrier. There are deeper issues than whether or not you're a coach, truthfully. But I do think that for some, I'm assuming men, some men, it takes that first paycheck. And here's the other thing. A lot of times spouses are unsupportive because it's why they're also unsupportive when a spouse will lose weight. Change is scary for the person on the other end. Let me give you an example. Woman is slightly overweight, starts losing weight. All of a sudden, she's feeling better. She's feeling sexy. And of course, she wants to share that with her husband. But her husband sees it as, oh shit, she's losing weight. She's going to cheat on me. Other men are going to look at her. Now she's on with all these beautiful women and going to these events with all these muscly guys, right? So change a lot of times isn't about that person. The unsupportiveness comes because they're scared of the change. So it's also finding out, why are they not supporting you, right? From those personally sponsored coaches, why is that spouse not supporting them? Is it because money? Okay, fine. Say, give me a month, give me 2 months. Let me show you I can earn back, at least cover my shake costs, right? Or is it more so that they're scared? They don't understand. Maybe they need to have your husband get on a call and explain why this is so awesome and what it's done for your family and for your marriage. And you want to know how you combat a unsupportive spouse? You get them to an event. You guys, you take a spouse to a Beachbody event, I'm telling you, it changes everything for them, especially a Success Club trip, or something where they can see all these other super supportive husbands. They're kind of living the good life. That's another way to really get a spouse on board. But I'm telling you, if I went to my husband right now, my current one, and I said to him, I want to do XYZ, and if he thought it was off the wall, and I explained why I wanted to do it, if he said to me, no, F that, you're not doing that, and like got really combative with me, then there is a breakdown in our communication, and we need to seek counseling, or we need to, I don't know, seek some Jesus, whatever. Something needs to happen, because there is a breakdown in the marriage, in my opinion. So probably an unpopular thing, but I'm just saying.
Mic drop. Nope, totally agree. And I will say, just speaking from personal experience, the Success Club trip and getting this one he's always supported me. Like, I'm not discounting that, but Super Saturday, Success Club trip, like, he just really, he always supported my big dreams, but seeing that those big dreams were like, they were more than just dreams. Like they were obtainable, and they were like, he believed in me enough to be able to do it was definitely a huge thing. So, for sure.
Yeah, I want to say, if that is an issue that you're dealing with, I'm a guy, so I totally understand and relate to that. But, I'm lucky to be married to a girl that is so special, and this has only, made her a better person for that. And if you are a husband out there that is on the fence about it, hey, sit back and tell yourself, why not have her be the best version of herself? I guarantee you, it only reflects better in a relationship, and it makes her happier. So therefore, that's your goal as a husband, So it's been the change that I've seen in Beth has been enough right there. Throw away any financial gain in any of this that we do. That right there, the change in her and what it has made in our marriage as well is worth it. So that's just coming from experience for me and my 2 cents right now.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, I don't see any other questions in the, oh wait, thank you for your honesty and bluntness. Oh, I already know what your answer to this is going to be, Nicole, but I mean, from Nicole to Danielle. Danielle, I know what your answer is going to be, but do you have a personal development book to suggest?
Yeah. So, I'm going to say personal development is just that. It's personal, meaning it is what you need in that given moment, right? So I can't tell you, like, are you struggling with confidence? Then maybe you are a badass. Or are you, realizing that like, okay, I've got some limiting beliefs as a female. Maybe you need How Women Rise. I really do highly recommend this book, y'all, though, because especially for females, it talks about all the ways we bring ourselves down and why we're not growing. But personal development is just that. It's personal. So it's what you need in that given moment in your life, right? So maybe you're lacking in social media. So you're going to get, Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk. Or maybe you're new to network marketing. So you're going to get Over Your Damn Self by Romy Newstead. P.S. Write down all these book titles. So it's personal development is just that. It's personal. So what I would say to you is write out a list of what are the things you're seeking right now. Where could you benefit? What are the areas in your life that are areas of opportunity for you? And then seek out books in those areas. And I also want to give you permission to not finish a book. If you start a book and it doesn't serve you and you don't enjoy it, stop reading it. It's okay. You do not have to read a book just because someone else liked it. Ready? I'm going to say something super unpopular again. I didn't really care for You Were a Badass. I suggested it to other people because I know that a lot of people like that book. But for me, I was like, I don't see what all like the hoopla is. Want to know another one I don't really love? All the Gabrielle Bernstein stuff. I'm like, it's a little butterflies for me. But guess what? Some people love it, and it's exactly what they need. So write out a list of things that you need in your life. Maybe it's confidence, maybe it's social media, maybe you want to learn more about fitness, maybe you want to learn more about nutrition, maybe you want to learn about, how sugar affects the body, maybe you need a devotional. Like, I don't know what you need because I don't live inside your brain. Only you do. But I will say that just some like super fast, like things that I recommend just for everyone at some point is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Just a super great one. I'm recommending all my new coaches read Get Over Your Damn Self because it was written by a female network marketer. And it's written really funny and raw. Go Pro by Eric Worre is a little more like network marketing, but also a great book. I love The School of Greatness by Lewis Howes. I love Push by Chalene Johnson. I love also a great book for me. It's called Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, and it's the story of Nike. Really love that book. There's just so many. Like, obviously the 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins is great. Girl Wash Your Face was great. The 12-Week Year was great. There's just so many titles, you guys, like, you know what I mean? Like there's endless books, like just pick, you could go to Amazon right now, type in Girl Wash Your Face, and it's going to show like a butt ton of other recommendations. Like, oh, people who like this book also like, and that's like also a great place. If you haven't read T is for Transformation by Shawn T, like, hello, at least read all the books from our trainers. Super Life by Darren O'Lean, the creator of Shakeology, right? Bring It from Tony Horton. Like, read all the books from our trainers. Like, so many different things that you could be reading. And Audible also is, game changing. And I know that, you know, Beth is kind of like faith-based-ish. And even though I'm not, a book that I just finished listening to on Audible that I love is Kind is the New Classy by Candace Cameron Bure. Like I'm obsessed with her. And that book was just really good about really kind of like how to be around people, because I think it's a skill and an art we've kind of lost. Also, podcasts are free, right? So like always having good podcasts, like, and being ready to listen to them. My absolute all-time favorite podcast is called How I Built This. It's an NPR podcast, and it's the stories of our favorite brands and how they got started. And every time I get off listening to one of those, I'm like, oh, I was like, I'm going to take over the world. Oh my gosh. Like the story of Instagram and Kate Spade and Steve Madden and Drybar and like literally all your favorite brands. And when you hear them, you're like, dude, if they could do that, I can invite 5 people today. Are you freaking kidding me? Like if they could create like Instagram, like, and in a year have 1 billion users, I can hit Success Club. Like seriously, that podcast like lights me up. Online Marketing Made Easy by Amy Porterfield, super practical, especially if you're going to get into like Facebook ads. Social Media Examiner, another great podcast for understanding social media and how that works. Like, and find your jam. That's also the other thing too. I give podcasts like 2 episodes. And if after 2 episodes, I'm like, meh, I don't care if other people like it. I want to listen to what I love. And just know this, the National Wake Up Call is not personal development. It's part of clocking in for your job description. I have not missed one national wake up call yet. So make sure you are listening to every single one, that you are going into the Beachbody Champions page and writing down what videos you missed. Because I know you're not going to be able to get to every video live and on time. So creating a list of trainings and videos that you need to go back to, because that's part of clocking in on your job. Okay, so now I'm done.
That was fabulous. Thank you so much. We don't have any other questions though, so I just want to thank you again for taking time out of your night. I know that you're insanely busy, but this meant so much to us, and I have pages of notes. I could listen to your story over and over again and still get something different from it. So I know everybody else did. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your Monday evening.
Hold on, say goodbye. Bye. Oh, this is Beth. There she is. Can they see her? I don't know. Okay. Thanks. Have a good night. Bye.